Thanks to literature and cinema, many are convinced that Mozart and Salieri were bitter enemies locked in a dramatic struggle of genius and jealousy. The most famous version of the story is, of course, Amadeus, a brilliant film, but a very, very unreliable piece of history. In reality, everything was very different. Antonio Salieri was 6 years older than Mozart and built his career carefully and systematically. He became a reliable and respectable figure in Vienna, eventually securing the prestigious position of court composer. Mozart, on the other hand, followed a very different path. He was extraordinarily gifted, of course, but far less strategic and sometimes just unlucky with his career. This difference shaped their reputations. Salieri was seen as reliable and professional. Actually, it is Mozart who had all the reasons to be jealous of Salieri's stable success and good position at the court. Mozart, by contrast, was often viewed as brilliant but somewhat carefree, someone who enjoyed life, socializing, and dancing, without always thinking about long-term stability. But the reality actually was a little bit more nuanced. Mozart made real efforts to connect with influential people and took his commissions very seriously. He often worked up to 18 hours a day and suffered from chronic lack of sleep. Once he regretted so much missing a chance to meet the emperor because of his oppressive employer in Salzburg, Archbishop Colorado, who prevented him of attending this meeting. So often he did care about his career, but often he was simply unlucky and not independent enough. If you want to discover the real Mozart, understand his music more deeply, and learn how to play it with confidence and style, my new course on Mozart offers a unique format that goes beyond traditional tutorials. It combines engaging lectures about Mozart's life and musical language, in-depth analytical insights from composer Frederick Weiner, and detailed step-by-step lessons on selected works by me from late beginner to advanced level. This approach will help you not only improve your technique, but also develop understanding of his style and aesthetics, expressiveness, clarity, and the refined elegance that Mozart's music requires. Right now, you have a great opportunity to join the course at a special discount and get lifetime access. Don't miss it. So, Mozart was not naive or socially awkward. That image, the childish, naive, or even weird genius, comes largely from later interpretations, particularly the Amadeus film. In the film, Mozart is portrayed almost as a mad genius, impulsive, vulgar, and unaware of basic social norms, and this love, oh my god. Basically a freak. Historically, this is simply not true. From a very young age, Mozart moved in the highest circles of European society. He performed regularly for kings and queens, spent years traveling through major cultural centers, and was constantly observed by aristocrats and intellectuals. Contemporary accounts, including best musicians of the time, describe him as well-educated, polite, and very, very refined. He understood etiquette, spoke multiple languages, and knew exactly how to behave in elite environments. For example, the prominent composer Johann Hesse wrote about the young Mozart and his father. The aforementioned Mr. Leopold Mozart, Mozart's father, is a very well-educated and polite man. His children are brought up extremely well. The boy, meaning Wolfgang, moreover is handsome, cheerful, graceful, and behaves in such a pleasant manner in everything that it is impossible not to love him. So he was not a misfit or weirdo. He was a highly cultured and socially skilled individual from a very young age. But this doesn't sell well if your goal is to create an iconic film hyped by masses. A stereotype of mad genius sells into masses really well. Mozart was also very perceptive. His letters reveal irony, sharp observation, and clear understanding of people and social dynamics. As for Salieri, there is no evidence that he envied Mozart in any destructive way. On the contrary, Salieri had a successful and stable career. He was respected, well-positioned, and widely performed. And to be honest, he was a really good composer. So during their lifetimes, they were competitors, but they were not enemies. They interacted professionally, occasionally mentioned each other in letters the way one would mention a competitor maybe, but there was no dramatic conflict. Salieri often performed Mozart's works, for example. Furthermore, after Mozart's death, his wife entrusted Salieri to teach their son. Can you imagine she'd do it if there were any slightest suspicion that Salieri murdered Mozart?
I killed your husband because I was jealous.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, since you owe me now, I assume I'd get a big discount on music lessons for our son. Let's say 70%.
Come on, Constanza. Mozart was terrible with money anyway. You might be better off without his debts. I practically did you a favor. 30%.
Deal.
The real story begins after Mozart's death. Rumors started to circulate, and here an important detail. Alexander Pushkin himself learned about the alleged poisoning from what we would call today a yellow press source, a sensationalist newspaper, which just spreaded this rumor rather than a verified fact. But for Pushkin, historical accuracy was not the goal. He needed a powerful idea for his artistic concept, the contrast between genius and mediocrity. And the story was simply too good to resist. His short play, Mozart and Salieri, was so brilliant, so concise, so psychologically convincing that people began to accept it as truth. Later, Amadeus amplified this image even further, turning it into a global cultural myth. In reality, of course, there is no evidence and no reason to believe that Salieri poisoned Mozart. Mozart's health had been fragile since childhood, basically, and his early life, constant travel, irregular rest, and intense workload took a toll on him. His death, while tragic, was not mysterious in the way the legend suggests. But the irony is that fiction proved to be more powerful than fact. The story was so persuasive, so spicy that, even centuries later, Salieri had to be symbolically cleared in a mock trial organized by scholars and musicians. So, thank you very much for watching this. I hope to see you in my comprehensive Mozart course, and see you next time.